Even the grand ballroom lights couldn't outshine the tension in her voice. I'm just saying it's time for you to leave. Can't you look at yourself in the mirror and feel embarrassed? Her words hit me like pellets of ice. I blinked, hoping I'd misheard, but her smirk said otherwise. Are you embarrassed by me? I asked quietly, my voice smaller than I wanted it to be. Yes, everything about this situation is uncomfortable. It's frustrating enough that my friends, and even my boss, are here, and now they'll find out you're becoming part of the family. It's humiliating. That's where it began, those words that sliced through my composure but also stirred something fierce inside me. My name is Melanie. Born and raised in Austin, Texas. You can probably see that I move by wheelchair rather than walking. It's been that way since birth because of a physical condition that makes my legs unusable. But that's never stopped me from living. I was raised in a warm, loving home with my parents, who now watch over me from heaven, and my brother, Anthony, who might be the loudest, most caring person alive. Our parents treated my condition as something to adapt with, not something to hide from. I was their sunshine as much as they were mine. When others looked at me with pity, my mother looked at me with pride. My father taught me that success has nothing to do with how tall you stand, but how you face life when it pushes you down. My brother Anthony learned those lessons deeply too. He was protective, yes, sometimes infuriatingly so, but always kind. He became my defender, my teammate, and my best friend rolled into one. That love is what built my spirit strong enough to stand tall. Even if my legs couldn't, years later that determination carried me further than anyone expected. Madam CEO, here's your schedule for this month. My secretary's voice always sounds politely brisk, like gentle wind through glass doors. Full meetings today, and an investor lunch tomorrow. I smiled at her from behind my desk. Even though I use a wheelchair, I've never felt confined. I run a successful company that designs and manufactures skateboarding equipment, an industry built on balance, speed, and freedom. Funny how that worked out. I've built this business from scratch, climbing each hill with grit and humor. Despite the busy chaos of meetings and contracts, I sometimes wish for a small break. That daydream was interrupted when my phone buzzed in my lap. The caller ID made me grin. Hey, Anthony! What's up? Sorry to bother you, my brother's familiar laugh crackled through the line. But I wanted you to hear it from me first. I'm getting married. What? I gasped. Anthony, congrats. Tell me everything. Who's the lucky person? Her name's Victoria. We met through work. She's sweet, smart, great cook. Honestly, she's wonderful. I smiled genuinely. My brother had always given so much to others. It warmed me to know someone had finally given their heart to him. I'm happy for you, really. You deserve someone amazing. He laughed. Stop sounding like Mom. You always worry too much. I can't help it. It's the big sister in me, I teased. Well, we're not wasting time. The wedding's in 2 months. That soon? Yeah, we just want to do it now. You'll come, right? Of course, I said without hesitation. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Besides, you have to promise to show up at my wedding someday, too. He chuckled. Your wedding? Since when? Haven't heard anything about that. Keep working and maybe you'll pay for it. I joked. After that call, I couldn't stop smiling. I worked hard to arrange my schedule so I'd have time to attend. My secretary noticed my extra energy. You're glowing, she said. Excited about your brother's wedding? More than excited, I admitted. He deserves happiness. I didn't meet his fiancée before the big day, so I imagined she'd be as kind as Anthony described. Maybe she'd become the sister I never had, but the day of the wedding shattered. Those hopeful pictures like glass. The hall was suited with flowers, soft music pouring from the string quartet. Guests laughed quietly in clusters of silk and tuxedos. As I rolled my chair through the entryway, a sharp voice called out, "You there, wait!" I looked up, expecting a coordinator, but instead found a woman in a gown glimmering with pearls. Are you talking to me? I asked pleasantly. Obviously, she scoffed. I'm the bride, the star of the day. My smile froze a little. Nice to meet you, Victoria. I'm Melanie, Anthony's sister. Her face flickered just for a second like she'd seen something unpleasant. Ah, right. I see. Is something wrong? She said nothing then, but her unease hung heavily in the air. I brushed it off until I felt the weight of her disgust moments later. "Oh my goodness," she hissed suddenly, backing away. "Why didn't anyone warn me?" Anthony rushed over, confused. "What's going on? This woman don't touch me," she snapped, glaring at me. "I was never told your sister was like this." My pulse dropped. "Like what? You mean disabled?" Victoria's voice pitched louder. "I knew you had a sister, but not that she'd be—" "Oh, forget it. It's disturbing. And what if it's contagious?" "Contagious?" I repeated quietly. "There's nothing wrong with me that you can catch." "Be quiet. Stop talking so close. Your droplets are spreading." I heard guests whisper nearby. Shame heated my skin, but anger began rising too. "So you're saying my existence is the worst part of this wedding?" I asked. She crossed her arms. "You said it, not me. People like you should be considerate enough to know when to stay home. I can't have you embarrassing me. Embarrassing you? You think my wheelchair embarrasses you?" "Yes," she snapped. "Even my friends and my boss are here. Imagine them finding out someone like you will be part of my family. Her voice dripped poison with every word, but I stayed calm. "Do you always think that way about people who are different?" I asked simply. "That's none of your concern," she said. "I've caught the CEO, Anthony, and you'd better not get in my way." It clicked then. She wasn't in love. She was performing. My brother, bless his gentle heart, had been deceived by someone who saw him as a prize, not a partner. Looking around, I saw the expectant eyes of guests. I didn't want to ruin Anthony's special day, so I forced a steady breath. "All right," I said. "Then I'll leave." I wheeled back slightly. "I'll leave the wedding gift here." Victoria smirked. "I don't need money from someone like you. What could you possibly give? $5? You don't look like you can even keep a job." I smiled faintly. "You might be surprised. But if that's how you feel, I'll just take back the $50,000 check I brought. It's heavy anyway." Her jaw dropped. "50,000? Wait, you're joking." "No joke. But I'll keep it. I think it'll get better use elsewhere. Hold on. If you have that kind of money, you should have said so earlier. I'll accept your gift after all." "Sorry," I said, sliding it into my bag. Too late. "Oh, and no, that's not money from Anthony. I run a company that manufactures global sports equipment. Annual revenue of about $500 million. So I assure you I can afford my own generosity." Her face blanched white. "Then all the more reason to leave it here. I'll use it for our happiness." I locked eyes with her. "You misunderstood. I don't support your happiness if it's built on cruelty." Victoria's glare tightened. "You're lying. You must have taken that from Anthony." Before she could sneer again, a strong voice cut through the noise. "What's all this nonsense?" Anthony stood behind her, expression darker than I'd ever seen. "But brother—" "It's not what it looks like," she started. "Victoria, what did you say to my sister?" His voice was steady but bold. She faltered. "Nothing serious. She's being dramatic." Anthony turned toward me. "Mel, is that true?" "Not really," I said. "She said I shouldn't be seen with our family because my wheelchair embarrassed her." Anthony's shoulders stiffened. "I see." He looked Victoria straight in the eyes. "You can love my money. You can love my name. But the moment you insult my sister, you lose me." The guests whispered. Even I froze at the sound of my brother's voice, so sharp, so unlike the man who never raised it before. "Why, you're angry over this." "She can still attend the wedding," Victoria stammered. Anthony's laugh was bitter. "Attend? Victoria, I won't marry someone who humiliates my family." Her mouth fell open. "You're breaking it off? Why?" "Because Melanie and I have survived too much together for me to let anyone belittle her." His voice softened as he turned toward me. "After Mom and Dad passed, you know what kept me standing?" Her smile. "Even when she cried at night, she still tried to cheer me up. My little sister comforted me when I was the one supposed to protect her. She's been my family, my home, my courage. And I'll never forgive anyone who forgets her worth." My eyes stung at his words. Brother, you still remember? Of course I do. Every tear you hid, every meal you cooked, every time you told me to smile, it's all in my heart.
He faced Victoria again.
You insulted someone who taught me strength. Apologize to her, now. Victoria scoffed, but his tone left no room for argument. I said apologize. Flustered, she muttered something close to sorry, arms crossed tightly, before the tension could grow thicker. A familiar voice boomed from the back, light yet commanding. Sorry to interrupt, just dropping in. Heads turned. It was Henry, my business partner. Victoria frowned nervously. Why is the CEO here? Henry smiled easily. Oh, I just wanted to check on my friend Anthony. We collaborate in business quite often. He turned to Victoria. By the way, your behavior today? Completely unacceptable for anyone associated with our company. Her face drained again. Mr. Henry, why you're the CEO? He nodded, then turned toward me with a warm, unmistakable smile. And did you know? He said loudly enough for all to hear. Anthony's wonderful sister Melanie is someone very important to me too. I'm in love with her, and I plan to marry her. I came here today hoping to ask for her brother's blessing. I blinked in shock. Anthony blinked right back and then laughed, genuinely this time. You never change, Henry, always full of surprises. He extended his hand toward Henry. If you love her, I trust you completely. She deserves the world. The room finally let out the breath it had been holding, the tension melting into quiet applause. Even awe, and somewhere between relief and disbelief, I realized that for the first time in a very long while I was surrounded not by judgment, but by respect. No, why is there such a sudden happy atmosphere? Anthony, I swear to devote my life to making Melanie happy. I'm confident. I won't lose to you, Anthony, please. Allow me to marry. Melanie Andy are saying this right now. Here Theon, who appeared, was my boyfriend. Henry Ho also happens to be the CEO of Victoria's company. Henry has been mingling with my brother both in business and private life, but neither of them knew. How we were all connected. Their surprise was evident. Victoria witnessing all this said, wait a minute, what? So this woman is the girlfriend 04 company CEO and Anthony. The savvy entrepreneur is her sibling that's too lucky. Even if it's luck, it's Melanie who paved her way. She's always been desperate to find what she could dashes. Faced everything hidden, used her brains, and worked hard to get where she's now. Don't belittle her success as merely good luck, and just so you know, she just became my fiancée a moment ago. So you understand what it means to insult the woman. I'm marrying, right? So what if I did? I don't know if it's girlfriend or fiancé or Melanie or whatever. What's a CEO going to do? It's just personal stuff anyway, right? Well, yes, but there are clients here, and the company's name is involved, right? Your remarks, Victoria, are a serious issue. It's a pretty problematic statement in general in my company that would easily be grounds for dismissal. I also don't want to deal with a company that harbors such individuals. Wait, you can't just fire me. That's going to be a problem. I apologize. Just forgive my absolutely can't stand the idea of someone like you becoming Miss Sister-in-law if you can't understand we. You need to apologize. There's no point in talking any further. Wait, please, both breaking off the wedding and getting fired are problems. How am I supposed to live if that happens? Why didn't you just look for another company? Done with you, but at least get me a job at your company. Anthony, what your way of thinking is messed up. There's no way you'd get hired after office. Anyway, it's impossible because I'm Anthony's family. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Victoria, realizing she's about to beboth broken off and unemployed waspinicking. It's not embarrassing. I just misspoke earlier if you call it misspeaking. Doesn't that mean you actually think that way, Victoria? Do you really have any intention of apologizing? It doesn't seem like it, does it? I've had many people look at me in various ways, but you're the first to hurl such abuse directly at me. It was quite a shock. Now I understand firsthand that there are people who think like you. Wait, does that mean you'll forgive me? No, I won't forgive you. Who wouldn't be upset after carrying such things? Would you be happy if it were you? Victoria, if it were me, I'd probably respond twice as harshly. That show it's going to be tough for you from here on, but good luck. Because marrying a woman like you who lacks even a shred of compassion is impossible. Marrying someone who spews hurtful words so easily would probably disappoint. Our parents in heaven tooth it's true, Mom, was kind and Dad wavry compassionate. I just realized that the ideal image of a couple was that of me parents I was too slow to realize. You want to become a couple like that with Henry. You know we can become. Like them together, Melanie. A Henry, would you Middleton go of Melon's hand for a moment? It seems that your mind settled down completely, brother, and one more thingamber that we're billing you. Victoria for all the wedding expenses. Okay, ouch, that's going to hurt the wallet. Well, dear best Victoria, but I can't have feuding called off. I've already told all me friends, and I've posted about the dress, the food, the venue visits on social media, and maybe you should delete those posts. Surely the majority who sees them are strangers, right? Isn't really fun to boast to people who don't even know who you are. See you around. Wait, this is seriously impossible. Think it over, please. All right. I feel like I hear some nothing, but let's not mind it and movie and wait. Where are you going, brother? We're off to host an engagement announced. Party for Henry and Melanuel, then my princess. Shall we go? Wait, what, brother? Henry, hey, this is sudden Lisombaris thanks to my brother's thoft arrangement, the wedding was transformed into an engagement announced party for Henry and me. Many work colleagues were invited and there were lots of mutual acquaintance. As soon as Henry and I greeted everyone, my brother burst into tears. Some people laughed at the sight while others, perhaps empathizing, shed tears too, thanks to my brother's good nature. Henry and I could announce our engagement in a warm atmosphere. Meanwhile, Victoria was expelled from Thevenue. As my brother said, Victoria ended up paying the entire cost of the ceremony, and she had to take on debt to make the payment. Victoria had hoped to flaunt the titles of CEO's wife and working celebrity for a while after the marriage. However, reality was harsh. She was dismissed from her job, and instead of being a CEO's wife, she's spending her days chased by debts. Moreover, unluckily, she planned to live with my brother. Her apartment was already determinated. Some people in the same industry claimed to have seen her in Thepburg, but whether it was really Victoria or Mind unknown. And as for me, Eleni is finally getting married. Don't worry. The two of us will live happily. That's right, brother Henry is trustworthy. I know it's safe, but still, what's this feeling? Hey, Anthony, if it's not too presumptuous of me to suggest, could the three of us visit the grave on our next day off? I'd like to greet your prince too, Henry. You're such a good guy. Brother, you're going to make me cry again. Haha, thanks to Henry's suggestion, our next day off will be spent visiting her parents' grave. Though my brother broke off his wedding, he seemed to be his usual self, which was reassuring. I hope someday a wonderful person appears for my brother too, and that he becometh happiest man in the world. Thinking such thoughts, I felt my brother Shareth same feelings. Looking up at the sky, there was a clear blue expanse without a single cloud. Watching the profile of my brother gazing at the sky, I silently conveyed in me heart, thank you for raising me with so much care.